Get ready, YouTube. Some people are scared to say the word rock now, like even Crocs or socks are off limits. Why? Because Roc Nation has the industry spooked. Last week, some wild news came out. Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez's own daughter accused her of forcing her into a mental hospital. The reason? Allegedly to break up her marriage and stop her from seeing her husband. Some people say this is just another example of Desiree using her power to control things. It's not just a family fight. This is hip-hop news. But when the news came out, nobody with a big platform said a word. No podcasts, no radio shows. DJ Akademiks noticed and called out Joe Budden and the Breakfast Club for being too scared to speak on it. Akademiks went off. He said Roc Nation is bullying young creators, deleting pages and trying to silence anyone who speaks against them. He even said, I don't want smoke with them. I told y'all that. I apologize to Jay-Z. I'm not going to war with Roc Nation. But he also said that the people who always criticize him are quiet now. And that's not fair. If they hate on him for little things, why are they silent now? He called out the hypocrisy. Y'all always gang up on me. But when Roc Nation starts targeting creators, nobody steps in. He says he's not the one to fight evil alone. He doesn't want beef with Roc Nation, but he does want people to hold the big media outlets accountable. Because if they won't, cover this story. What does that say? Desiree Perez's story is wild. Years ago, 6699 said her name, revealing she had been involved in drug trafficking. She got caught, took a plea deal, and became a witness for the government. She cooperated with the feds. That's public info. Addis 99 said, why does the industry protect Desiree Perez when she snitched, but turn on me for doing the same thing? Everyone made excuses. Oh, she's a woman. It's different. Joe Budden's podcast was next in the spotlight. Akademiks laid the trap, and Joe fell right into it. On episode 831 of Joe's podcast, one of his co-hosts brought it up. He asked Joe directly, people are saying you're scared of Roc Nation. You won't talk about the Desiree Perez story. What do you say to that? Joe had a chance to say, yeah, I don't talk bad about Jay-Z. I respect him. But he didn't. Instead, he tried to defend himself and things got heated. Another co-host, Ice, called him a hypocrite and Joe started arguing. Joe said, if I have a relationship with someone, I don't talk about them. I protect my relationships. Even if they mess up, I'm not saying nothing. That was his excuse. But his co-hosts weren't letting it slide. One pointed out, bro, you say you don't talk about people's kids, but you talked about Brian McKnight's kids. Joe got mad, said that was different. Brian McKnight didn't want his kids. That's different from Desiree. Leave me alone. The show started going in circles. Joe tried to say that stories involving parenting and kids are sensitive, and he avoids those out of respect. But his co-host reminded him that he has talked about some parents, just not others. They said the problem isn't just about this one story. It's a pattern. People online think Joe and his crew are scared of Roc Nation, scared of Jay-Z, and avoiding any negative news that involves them. Joe insisted that's not true. He said the Desiree story dropped while they were recording, and they hadn't had time to talk about it yet. But when asked why they never even hint that Roc Nation might have played a role in Tory Lanez's case, Joe said, I don't have proof. I won't say something without proof. And I respect Roc Nation. So there it was. He doesn't know Desiree Perez personally. He never met her. But still, he won't speak on the story. And even though the co-host tried to say it could lead to a broader conversation, like how far parents should go to protect their kids, Joe didn't want to go there either. One co-host pointed out that the Vanessa Bryant story was discussed on the show because it was part of a bigger topic. So was the Brian McKnight story. But the Desiree Perez story, Joe said it didn't seem like something they needed to cover. Another co-host disagreed. He said, it's not about gossip. It's about whether we touch any story tied to Roc Nation. That's what people online are saying, that the whole show avoids anything that might upset Jay-Z or Roc Nation. Joe responded, that's just not true. I don't run from stories, but I'm not going to talk about people I respect or people I have relationships with. He stood by that. But people watching are still skeptical. Why is Roc Nation off limits? Why do the biggest media voices in hip-hop go silent when someone powerful is accused of something serious? And if the daughter of the CEO says her mother forced her into a psychiatric facility just to ruin her marriage, isn't that worth even talking about? This whole thing raises bigger questions. Who controls the media in hip-hop? Are certain people protected? Are creators being bullied into silence? Academics think so. And whether you like him or not, he's one of the few who keeps saying these things out loud. And when he looks around for backup, nobody's standing with him.